All right, what's going on, party people? Hold up, let me check my settings. I might have to adjust something real quick. Stuff done froze up. Okay, let me. Okay, okay. All right, that looks good. I had unplugged everything to do something else, but it looked like I have all of my stuff. Okay, okay. So everything looks good. Um, what's going on, Shannon? Yep, fritter fry. And you know what? I was supposed to have left the house today and I forgot to go get my fritters. I mean, literally, I was going to get one today. And my appointment that was coming up at noon wound up getting delayed. And I just never left the house. And then I started working on prepping documents for my next appointment and then taking care of another appointment. What's going on, Stephanie? And so I was like, I was going to talk about something completely different. But then as I was doing my document prep, I came across an acknowledgement and I was like, y'all need to see this. Not that you may never seen it before, but I figured, heck, might as well do some acknowledgement training today and all of that. Um so that's why I was like, let me work on that. And I always want to do one of those little Canva thingies. I don't ever get a chance to do it. Hold on. I'm gonna change one setting real quick because I think I got this on high definition 1080 and that's causing some problems. All right, I dropped the thing down from 1080 to 720. Like I said, I was playing around with some stuff. Thanks, my man, for the super chat. And I think now they said there's a thing called super thanks on so that you can do a thing on after the video plays. You can go back and look at the replay and all of that. Appreciate, yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Tony. Yep, got to hit that like button. That's my lady there. She's my lady right there. She's good. I can't. Where are you located, Keisha? Are you in Virginia? I don't know why I keep thinking you're in Virginia and stuff. But y'all hit the like button, share it. Now you really got to hit the like and share today because we need as many people in here as possible because y'all gonna get some training today that I know you ain't getting anywhere else. Okay, unless it's from the NNA. Okay, you in Alabama. Gotcha, my lady. She's down there in Alabama. So I know, yeah, that Chobani, yeah. That Chobani drink, yeah, yeah. I love those. And I gotta I gotta get some more. And stuff. Yeah. So I ate me some lunch today. I'm good to go. I'm not gonna do my hibachi like I normally do from the teriyaki place and all of that. Also we got let me pull it up. Let me pull it up for y'all. All right. All right, come on. So what we got going on this weekend is, and let me hit the thingamadeal here to share. Things running a little slow because I got all this stuff running in the background on my computer. So if my computer might crash because it's been acting a little janky lately, so it might crash and I have to hop back on here. All right, so we have this going on, the Sustainable Notary Conference. That's going on this weekend. The meet and greet is at 4 o'clock today. I may not be able to make it because I got a 5 o'clock closing that a client really wanted me to get taken care of for them. So I was planning on going there, but okay. but I'm not going to be able to make it. Oh, why I took that down. So, all right, cool. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to make it to the meet and greet because by the time I finish this at 5 and the meet and greet's from 4 to 6, so I won't be able to make it. But yeah, she got good sponsors, been featured somewhere everywhere. Renee, this is my first time being a part of her conference, so I'm confident that it's going to be great. She's put together very, very well. It's very well organized. I will say that. It's very, very organized. Not that somebody else's hasn't been, but it's very well organized. Thanks for hitting the like button, sharing, so everybody can get in here. But she's going to be on there today. So she has this, and what else? So I'm going to be speaking there somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, got the itinerary, day one. I'm going to be here on day one around 11 o'clock. I think, 10 o'clock, I think. 10 or 11, I forget which one. But I'm going to be there. And we're going to be talking about common errors to avoid on mortgage documents and loan closing panel discussions so you can ask questions. So feel free. Here's the ticket prices and everything. Recording of the conference, question and answer, win the door prize. Excuse me, access to all speakers during the conference. Oh, so I guess I got to make myself available. I'm just messing. So you get to talk to me, pick my brain, and they got other options here. So this is going down here in Norfolk and Hilton Norfolk, the Hilton Norfolk hotel in Norfolk, Virginia, the Hilton. So come on out, check it out and everything. But yeah, I'll be there speaking. And I think y'all will enjoy yourselves. Where am my button? There we go. So, hey, what's going on, Shantae? We got Violet in the house. We got Miss Tarsha. Do a video on construction loans. Okay. Those aren't that bad, but they can be nitpicky. And I do have one that I can redact, an old one. So the main thing with construction loans, you just got to really, really pay attention to what's in there for as where to sign. Now that document can be a little quirky because they have the person signing as the business owner, and then they have them signing as sometimes the guarantor. And if they're married, they may have the spouse signing just as the personal guarantor. So with commercial properties, you have to have somebody who can guarantee the loan, meaning if the business can't pay it, then you have these people over here who will pay the bill. Because I had to do that for my wife. I'm not on my wife's business, but for her cosmetology school, leasing the building that she's in, I had to put my name down there as a personal guarantor with her. So she signed as the business owner, and then me and her both signed as personal guarantors for the lease if the business can't pay for it. So either way it go, they mean they're gonna get their money. That's really what it all boils down to. But when I get an opportunity, yeah, I will try to put together something for construction loans. But the notarization is just the same. There, and with the construction loans, there's really, in my opinion, nothing for us to have to try to explain to them because they've already gone over everything. Or at least I have to throw this in there, should have gone over everything. Because my last construction loan I did, was it the last one? The next to the last one, the gentleman had no idea. He hadn't even seen the paperwork. So the only thing that did was prolong my time there because he had to actually read through every single page of the document, him and his wife. So what could have took probably an hour and a half took over 2 hours. And then I had to go back to their house to get some other paperwork done because there was some other stuff that the lender forgot to send them and just sort of jack some stuff up. Um, oh, you talking now? You talking about new construction? Because see, there's construction loan. I'm thinking commercial. See, I'm tired. Commercial. Everything that I just said, y'all, was for commercial loans. New construction, that's no different. The new construction, thank you for clarifying, and you said it right the first time. I just misunderstood. New construction, that paperwork looked just the same, but it also depends on the lender, because the people I'm doing, that home builder has their own title and lending company within themselves, so they can do their own lending and title work. But then, and their paperwork looks way different from any outside lender. But with either one, it's stuff that I've already seen in regular purchases or sales paperwork. So there's nothing really any different. There's a closing disclosure, there's an alter statement, there's the deed, there's the mortgage, there's the note, there's affidavits for them to say I am who I say I am. Yeah, commercial loans, like I said, the commercial loans, everything that I said prior was about commercial loans. New construction, it's just sitting there making sure they sign the paperwork correctly. And the people who are, click on this, and the people who are signing the new construction, buying a house for the first time, they actually more than likely have already reviewed the paperwork before you got there. So I would have I would say the chances of somebody actually only knowing or looking at the paperwork for the first time for the new house they're buying is on that day, depending on it, might be rare. So that means they've already seen it and they know what they're signing and why they're signing. All they need you to do is present them the paperwork, meaning really hand it to them, not say anything, and sign it and keep going. Unless, depending on who you're working with, they want you to be more vocal about the paperwork. Okay. If they want you to be more vocal, then you just follow the NNA scripts and share the basics of it, unless you are actually an employee of theirs and you have been trained to go in more detail about the documents. You see what I'm saying? Your role is an escrow officer or something like that and everything. So, one of the quick things, y'all know the mortgage industry is shifting. I've heard interest rates have been over 7%. You go to places like bankrate.com and you can find out the most recent mortgage rates. Depending on whether you're doing a refinance or a what is that, a purchase, you can go in there and find out what the rates are so you can get an idea. But now the rates, what I've also found out that the rates that's showing and talking about is for people who have good credit. Okay. So your credit has to be good. Whatever their criteria is, the rates they're showing is for people with good credit. Okay. Good credit. And all of that. Or they're showing the lower one. That means they're paying what they call it points. So when you look at this here, this is from Bankrate right now. So they're showing this is a 15-year mortgage. Let me see. 15-year mortgage at 4.1, 30-year at 5.1. Yes, that's the, and they're saying, and apparently this is if they're paying points of $5,047. So they're paying that. That's just the principal and interest. This doesn't even include all of that. So if they're paying points, then I guess they can get it down to this here amount. They can get it down to that amount there if they're paying points. Points are fees paid directly to the lender in exchange for a reduced interest rate. A point is equal to 1% of the borrowed amount and all of that. So They're paying 1.643 points to get this dollar amount and to get a lower interest rate. So again, if there's people out there who have the money to get a lower interest rate, for us paying points, and it tells you right here, then they're doing that to get a lower interest rate. Like this one here, this is 6.99, and this one is saying there's underwriting fees. Their rate is 6.99. That's what I've been seeing out there. And this is with them paying almost 2 points. So without paying the 2 points, they're going to be their interest rate is going to be over 7%. But one of the things that I recently heard, and I already knew, is that a lot of smart home builders, they're looking at buying a home at a reduced cost, meaning the dollar amount of the property itself versus trying to get a low interest rate. Because what a lot of people need to understand is you can always refinance if you're willing to pay points, or they have a program going on or something. You can be making your payments good. You got a 720 or higher credit score. You can refinance and go into a lower interest rate. You see what I'm saying? But if you bought a house at $450,000 and, and then the value drops 200,000, you can't change the dollar amount of the house to match the new dollar amount of what they said. No, you paid 450. It is what it is, and now you got to work your way back up, and hopefully your house will go over 450 in order for you to have some type of profit, and all of that. And that can be very difficult. But if you at 450 and then you purchase a house at 7%, the market's going to change in a couple of years, as it always does. And then you can refinance down to a 5.5 or down to a 4, all of that and everything. So that's what the smart home builders or home buyers are doing. So, and as I've been talking more recently about, the people who are investors are standing by waiting for all of these things to crash. They're waiting. They're waiting. And when this thing crashed for the house price point, and see, it's okay. And why I'm okay with the higher interest rate for us people buying a house at a higher interest rate, because that gives them something to aim for later on. If somebody purchased a property at 6-7%, in 2 or 3 years, they're going to want to refinance and get that interest rate down when the opportunity comes. If you still in the game 2-3 years from now, you could see another refinance boom. And then you have people again refinancing and look at it from this perspective, from a higher interest rate to a lower. So that higher interest rate could be whatever, and lower could be whatever. It doesn't always have to be 3% or 2% or 1%. It's just something that's a savings for them. And that's what's important that y'all need to understand. So as notaries, what do we need to do? We need to make sure that we are in a position to do these closing for folk and that we know what we're doing. So we got 38 people up in here. Wanted to do some notarial training with y'all real quick. Like, I don't even know if I've ever done that on a Fritter Friday with y'all. If I have, it's been a while. And where am I? All right. So look like I might have to zoom in. Let me see how this look on YouTube. That is not what I wanted to get up. All right. Where is the thing that? Oh, here it is. All right, here I am. Okay, I just. Oop, let me hold off us. Now I'm trying to make sure that it's looking nice and big on YouTube so y'all can see. All right. Okay, yep, that should be good. That should be good. All right. So Where is, oh, here it is. Goodness gracious. Y'all hold on one sec. I'm a little all over the place this morning. All right, let me move you right here. Drop you down and share that. All right, so now, there we go. Now I can see what I'm looking for. All right, hold on one sec. All right. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That should be big enough. Let me see if I take it a little bit bigger. What happens? All right. Yeah, we good to go right there. All right. So this is one of the notarial acknowledgments that you may see. This primarily comes from Texas. This comes from Texas. And you know what? I'm gonna do this here. Before I go into this. I'm gonna give somebody a chance to be bold today. What I want, and it can't be Q or Matherin, it got to be somebody else, or Caprinis. I think he's up in here. I just put the link up there for you to hop on, and no creepy crazy people. If y'all see somebody creepy crazy, y'all block them. I know I got Q in there as a mod and Matherin. So if you see somebody creepy, kooky, whatever, y'all go ahead on and block they behinds and all of that. Let me make sure I got my mods right. Yep, Matherin's a mod, Violet's a mod. Yeah, I got my mods in here. I know Caprinis is a mod, Shannon's a mod. So if y'all see somebody creepy, y'all drop they behind, block them forever. But I want somebody to hop on here and talk me through how you would fill this out. Okay. Granted, this isn't your state. Okay. I'm in Virginia. This is a notary acknowledgement that I have to do later today. So who's brave enough to come on? There's a link to hop on stage with camera on. I'm putting it all out there, camera on, and walk us through how to do this. This is a learning opportunity. Okay. All of this, I'm just sitting in the bag, trying to gain some knowledge, trying to soak it all in. Where y'all have been soaked. Y'all been soaked, drenched. Now it's time to release. So I know some of y'all at work, y'all can slip on out there, pretend like you're doing a smoke break or something and everything and all of that. Some of y'all ain't had lunch yet, so y'all can go hop out in the car, say say little man calling you and you need to go talk to him and all of that. And I want somebody to hop on and walk me through how they would do this here notarial acknowledgement. And there's two of them here. There's two of them. And over here, right here, this one is how it should look once it's filled out. But I ain't gonna show y'all that one just yet. Man, look, everybody keeps talking about how soaked and drenched they are, or they trying to soak it all up. At some point, y'all should be pretty well lathered in notarial knowledge that y'all can, answer some questions, and everything. This, look, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You got to get over this fear. Okay. This is a part of what we do with the notary success system. When you come with the notary success system, you got to answer these things. You got to knock this bad boy. Yeah, the customer's house, they're a reader. I understand, Violet. No problem. Oh, snap. We got two folk that have slid up in here. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, let me make sure my microphone right so I can hear y'all, because I
Cool.
I think I forgot to put the speaker part back on. All right, I should be able to hear y'all now. What's going on, ladies?
Hi.
Hey. All right. So what we're gonna do is this. Miss Pauline Lincia. I hope I'm
Valencia.
Miss Paulincia. We're gonna have you do this one first.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have Cheryl do the next one. All right.
Okay.
Now,
So
and what state you're in?
I'm actually in Texas and I'm located in Tarrant County.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna see. Oh man, see, you're gonna be cheating because you already know what to do in this here. Because y'all be getting this all the time.
I'm
It's
from
not
California.
cheating.
Okay. Now, Cheryl, where you from?
California.
Okay, I want Cheryl to do this one first. Let me,
Okay.
Cheryl, you do this and view this as you're in California, but you're doing the property. The property is located in Texas. The customer is there with you, coming from out of state. So in this case, I know y'all don't have to use your California notary acknowledgement, the big fancy one, because the property isn't in California, if I'm not mistaken. So how would you
I feel like I
fill this out?
actually would attach an acknowledgement because, to my understanding, in California, you have to have this little box at the top, and it says like.
Correct.
Like
And
that.
if I'm not mistaken, and I know Caprentice, he's in California. What he's always shared with me, and I've heard others say that if the property isn't in California, you can use the attached acknowledgement, the acknowledgement that's with the loan doc. So that's what I'm saying. In this case, the property is going to be in Tarrant, Texas.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm a newer notary, but like at first, when I first started out, I would just notarize the document. Like if if it was a document like this where it already has like the wording and things like that, I would just notarize it. But being that I've been getting a little bit more experience, if it doesn't have that box, I would attach my acknowledgement to it.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
So in this case, you don't have to attach yours, California. How would you fill this out?
Okay, so I would say before me, and then I would say my name, and then notary public, and then personally appeared the signer, and then I would put in that space. I feel like, is it oath of affirmation, or proof to me on the oath of affirmation or acknowledgement to be to me that he shakes. I would put oath of affirmation, or I would call and ask to be sure, and then I would put the date, and then I would sign and seal it.
Okay. All right. Miss Keisha, what you got?
What you think? So before me, I would put the client.
Okay.
On this day personally appeared. I
had to block the people's name out and stuff. God, who the fuck? Ooh. All right, had to get them out of here. Caprentice told me that was correct, so I'm gonna have to edit this later.
Is it client that goes? The client's name go in the first field?
Nope. It is your name.
Before me. Okay.
All right. So here we go. You want to add anything in there, Paulincia?
I can't see the screen again, but I think when it says oath, it would be the person that swore to their identity, and then the next blank would be through. You either put like Texas, well, the ID, like how they identify themselves.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So to break it down, simple and clear. If it's not in your state, you would cross out the state and the county that is not your initial. That's where the TRE is. And then you would put your state, the county, and then where it says notary name, that will be your name there. Because it's saying before me, talking about before you. And then on this day personally appeared, I had to block their names out. Now, this part here gets everybody known to me, meaning they know you know them, or prove to me through oath of another person, meaning a credible witness, if a credible witness, or through, and I had to go look that up part there. That part I had to go look up. And for Texas, they're talking about what ID they provided. So if the person is not known to you, then that means how did they prove themselves to you? Prove themselves to me through the oath of somebody saying, I do solemnly swear that this person is so and so, or through, in this case, I'm gonna have to put their ID, meaning their driver's license, because I don't personally know them. That's what that means. And then you put the date, and then you sign.
I have a question. Thanks. A question.
Go for it.
Sorry. So would you put, for instance, known to me or provided to me, and then you put the oath of the person's name?
Right. You put the name of the person.
Or, for instance, and then you'll put like, or through, I don't know, California driver's license.
Right. And you, I mean, you don't have to put the state. You can just put driver's license.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, don't put DL. If you just put DL, that could be DL Hughley. That could be whatever. So, so you have to be mindful of that and everything. So that's all you have to do. But it's asking, do you personally know them? If the answer is no, they're not personally known to me, then how did you verify them? Through the oath of another person or through an ID. Now, here's the thing. Let's just say you had to use somebody else. And like in Virginia, if I don't know the other witness personally, I got to use 2 credible witnesses. So that's a small area for me to put both people's names in. So you may have to go with a separate acknowledgement in order to properly put their names in there. You see?
And you would just draw a line. Would you sign, date, and initial? Put your initials through the line of the
Right. That the
space.
pink, the purple here, that's your initials. That's your initials on you striking through Texas, and then you'll initial and then print the correct state. Sign line through parent, initial, and then put the correct city there.
And would you do the same with the one that was asking for the oath of or
Nope.
through?
Okay. It says which one, this one or that one.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, would you draw a line through the one that you didn't use or just leave it blank?
I will leave it blank and fill in whatever, because most times you're going to do one or the other.
Okay.
If you're doing both, I mean, it doesn't make sense that you saying, they proved to me by credible witness and their driver's license. It's either one or the other. Now, if you personally want to line through it, then that's on you. But I don't see why you would need to line through it when it's saying which one did you do? Because even here, I mean, that means you would have to say, well, I had to cross out the known to me because they're not known to me. And it's give you a statement of known to me or this or that. Which one was it?
Yeah.
Now, if you leave them blank, then that means to them, that indicates that you knew them. That's what that means. You knew them. So that will be up to you. Not saying that you shouldn't do it. You can, but that will be up to you. If you really want to find out, you can ask them, or add in your own acknowledgement, because if you don't know the person and they didn't do an oath, a credible witness, then you can say, okay, well, do the driver's license and use your own, acknowledgement for your state. It's up to you. Now, all right, Miss Keisha, how you would deal with this one?
So trying to read it first. I know that's first thing you need to do. So the client would sign above the state.
Correct.
For me, I would cross out Texas and put Alabama, whichever county the client is in. Before me, my name by I guess whichever identification they give me, and then sign at the bottom.
Okay. Almost. Now you got caught up into what was being said in the last notary acknowledgement, and I'm gonna show you before me, and it says on.
So you put the date.
There you go. So see, on this one, it just said before me.
Yes, sir.
In these notary acknowledgements, it will say one or two things. It will say before me, or before me this, THIS, meaning this date, or it will say before me on, which means you need to say the date that it was on. And then by is always by the person who actually signed the documents in front of you. And that's where a lot of notaries get caught up, is they want to put their name there, but it was by the person who signed the document. So the way this will look is the client signature goes there, not the notary. Then the state and county crossed out initial, and then you put the correct state, the current date, which you also missed was down here at the bottom. It has state of Texas underneath the notarial signature. You need to change that to your state, which you will cross out initial, and then down here, print the notary name.
I can see that.
So these are different types of notarial acknowledgements that you're going to see on when you're out here doing these closings. And you can see some of these same ones, because Miss Paulise, she hopped in here being a Texas note. I said, she gonna blow this all up what I try to do. She was like, I got all the answers. She knew exactly what to say.
You said don't be scared, so I was like,
No,
okay,
no, that's good. Now, so from your perspective, what did I do wrong in that, if any?
I
Did I
didn't see
miss
anything
anything?
wrong.
Okay.
I'm still very new, so I'm learning and trying to figure out if I'm doing anything wrong.
Gotcha. So now here's one of the things that I had to pull up. And this is something real simple. This is what I got from Texas. So I got this. I had to do a Google, and what I searched for, all I did was I searched for this phrase right here. All I did was typed in this phrase in Google, and I just typed in this phrase in Google to find, and I said, okay, let me see what I can find. And what it says here, before me, insert name and character of officer. On this day, personally appeared so-and-so, known to me or proved to me on oath of or through, and then here, description of identity or other identity card or other document. Mm-hmm. So right then and there, that told me, I said, oh, got it. This here me that space, because I mean, it threw me off when I first saw it this a couple of hours ago, and I was like, got it. Mm-hmm. Now I'm showing you this because I'm trying to get y'all to see how quick and simple and easy it is for you to go out here and what?
Find your information.
Find the information. It's not hard. So instead of running to Facebook, you can easily just do a quick Google search and like, okay, let me use some of the terminology in here and see what I come up with, so that's how quick I came up with this, and even here it tells you for Texas, instrument was acknowledged before me on this date by names of persons acknowledging. So it's that simple. So when we're notarizing documents, we need to know that, Now what's different is that they have the phrase here, personalized seal. Now I guarantee you that's going to throw a lot of notaries off because typically it just says seal. Now a notary will see this and like, personalized, what do you mean? Well, think about what it means. Your personal seal, meaning your stamp. Now the question keeps coming up and about, do you need to stamp this? You stamp it based on your state law. If your state law says you're supposed to stamp ... guess what? You stamp ... It's that simple. You're supposed to stamp. And your notarial laws will tell you what needs to be in an acknowledgement. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe Michigan for general notary, they don't have to use a stamp, but I believe they do for loan closings. Don't 100% quote me on that. It might be optional, but I do know they don't have to use it for the general notary, and that's what somebody recently told me. So I'm like, okay, got it. I said, okay, that makes sense. So there's some states that have that. So, and then this one here is for a partnership in Texas, all of that. So when you're looking at this, and one of the things that I always share with everybody is give the document what it's asking for. So when you're looking at this, you have to ask yourself, what is it asking for? So let's start at the top. It's asking for the state and the county. Is this my state and county? It's either yes or no. There's no maybe involved. So it's not my state. It's not the county that I'm in. So I need to change that. I just gave the document what it wants for the venue. Before me, it's asking me for somebody's name here, some information. Before me, it's already said on this day. So it's not asking for date. So it must be talking about me because over here it said personally appeared, and the personally appeared is them. They appeared before me. I didn't appear before myself to sign these documents. So before me, the notary, my name, sometimes people may put notary public, but I always put my actual name in there. Personally appeared. And in this case, they already had it written in, but if they didn't, you would fill it in, the people who appeared before you. And then it's asking, do you know them? If you know them, then you keep going to the next line. If not, then you got to say, how did they prove to you who they were? By oath or through driver's license, passport, whatever your state, know what I'm saying? Whatever your state says the ID should be. Then the question is, given to under my hand and seal of this office, what? Okay, wants a date. What date is what? Well, it's happening today. So it's going to be on this date, my signature. Now, in this regard, it doesn't have anything about seal, meaning your notary stamp. But for Virginia, I know that I'm supposed to stamp this because my state law and my handbook says that. So even though it doesn't say it, it may have it on one, it may not have it on the other. What does your state law says is the proper notarization for your state, for you? That's what you do. And the same thing here, give it what it's asking for. It wants the date. It wants my signature. It's telling me it wants my notary seal. It wants the commission. This one wants my name printed, and it put down here the state of Texas, which I know I'm not in the state of Texas, so I need to change that also. So when you look at doing these here based on what the document is asking you, what is it asking me for, and then who am I dealing with? So if you see a notary acknowledgement and it has corporate stuff in it, like let me go back to this real quick. I know I'm jumping all around, but like this one here, if it has a bunch of corporate stuff, and in your loan modifications, you will see this. In loan modifications, it will have a notary acknowledgement for the borrower and a notary acknowledgement for the bank. And it will be set up as a corporate acknowledgement. Well, when you see that, the first question you have to ask, who's in front of me? Is the bank personnel here with me? It's either yes or no. If the answer is no, then guess what? I don't have to deal with that. But what happens is notaries see a notarial acknowledgement, not recognizing that, oh, these aren't the right people. This person's not even here. And then they start filling it out. And then all of a sudden they get caught because they say, okay, the date, the name, and then wait a minute, on behalf of, well, whose behalf? A partner. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, I done filled out something wrong. Well, the first thing is, who's the signature line? Because we don't notarize until after the signature. So after the signature is when we notarize. So who signs this document? It says loan originator. It says loan officer, bank president. Are they there in front of us? No, they're not. We move on to the next page. And some notaries are stuck in like, well, I got to fill this out because it's a notarial acknowledgement area. Yes, if it's applicable to you because the person who signed before you notarize is there and they signed it. It's really that simple. Any questions?
I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it. Any
That's
questions?
what I think. I just want to confirm. It says so you have to do C or D. You're not doing both.
On you talking about for is the
one that was just
proof
up.
to me?
The one that was just up, it said C and then it said D and it said for the corporation. And then you said that, but I wasn't sure, but I realized you're only doing C or D, right?
Okay, let me go back to that.
Like you
These
fill
are
out
different
both sides?
examples.
Oh,
So
okay,
this
okay.
is a
It wouldn't
partner.
be on
This
the
is
same
for a
document.
partnership where one acting with one or more partners. And then this is for just a straight corporation. So it depends on the role that's going on. So you would use this corporate one for a corporation, just like down here they have one for a limited liability corporation. But that's Texas. This is for Texas stuff that's going down. Your state may have different notarial acknowledgments when it comes to corporations. It may just have one that would encompass any corporation. You see, so it all depends on what your state has. I just pulled this up. I happened to get the Texas one because it was, Texas acknowledgement. So I wanted to find out how Texas wanted that handled and everything. So the C or D, they're just showing you different ones. Like this is talking about a natural person acting as principal, acting as an attorney in fact. So these are different types depending on your situation. And that can make things difficult depending on what state you're in, because some states are a little bit more detailed than others with regards to the different types of notarizations or notarial acknowledgments that you can use or jurats. Any other questions? Now, how y'all understand about the jurats with the oath?
I think I have a pretty good grasp on the jurat.
Okay. The main thing with the jurats is you got to do the swear-in. You have to do the swearing. If you don't, it's not a proper notarization because it says subscribed and sworn, meaning they subscribed, they wrote, they signed, and they swore before you, ... And a lot of notaries are not doing that. They're not doing the oath whatsoever. And that becomes a problem. That is a huge, huge problem that notaries got to fix. Okay, notaries got to fix that. So if you don't get that straight, I'm telling you, that's going to be a problem. So that's what you got going on. So now, me and you talked before, right, Keisha? We talked on the phone before many times, right? Oh, I can't hear you. You. Nope, still can't hear you. Okay. So, Paulincia, so you say you're new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how long you been rolling?
About 2 months now.
Okay. And how things have been coming along with you?
So far, so good. I'm still trying to work on my clientele. I haven't done. So you guys are talking about loan signings. I'm not focusing on that so much. I'm doing estate planning,
Mm-hmm.
trying to focus on that aspect. So it's been challenging to say the least.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Yeah, it can be challenging and all of that. But the more you're okay with the notarizations, the better it's going to be for you. Finding ways to make yourself available. Case in point, if you happen to see, like with estate planning, if you see any, and I just picked up potentially a new client by attending a wealth management seminar.
Okay.
I was driving down the street, had a sign on the library that said wealth management seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Had a number, I think had either a number or an email or something. I contacted them. They sent me the information, said, okay, you signed up. And then I went to it. And while I was there for two reasons. One, to learn more about wealth management. And then two, maybe I could be the notary for the wealth management person.
Mm-hmm.
And me and her got to talking. And she was like, hey, I do need a notary because, I can't notarize my own client stuff. And I said, well, I'm here for you. I said, but I need to learn more about wealth management for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So me and her are going to have a conversation to talk about what I need to do for my family. And she's already told me, she's like, okay, you're going to be my notary. I was like, all right, bet. So while I was there, and it was just her, and again, I always talk about reading the room, I noticed she was very nervous. So in the beginning, she was nervous. And then I said, okay, she has no help. It's just her by herself. When people came in, I sat in the back on purpose. I always like to sit in the back. So I sat in the back, and when the people came in, I helped her get to talking and not getting distracted with trying to tell, hey, you sign in. I went over there and said, okay, you just need to sign in here. You need to sign in there. And there's seats right here. And I got the people. So she kept, and then she just flowed. And we worked together like we've been buddies forever.
That's cool.
And at the end, she was like, I appreciate it. And then I went back the next day to help her out. So if you see a wealth management seminar going on, go there.
Okay.
If you get a chance to mention that you're a notary, then say so. You don't have to do a hard sell. You really, really don't. And I just went in and I just like, hey, I'm here. And then she deferred a couple of questions to me about notary stuff. And now I was able to provide the people with some information, picked up my card. And then on the next day, I messed up the time. I was thinking it was at 12. It was at 11. So I got there. I missed the whole seminar. But at the time that I got there, there was a real estate investor. And the attorney said, hey, told the real estate investor, you need his card because he can do closings for you.
Hmm.
So she helped me get another potential client. And I was like, okay, bet. And guess what? I was the only notary there. And I know there's other notaries in my area that saw that, but you got to be in the mindset like, okay, wealth management, community events at the rec center, things of that nature. Just show up. Sometimes if you just show up, that's what makes things possible for you. And again, you don't have to do a hard sell. Just let them know, hey, if you need me, I'm available. You have your card. Contact me. You ain't even got to go into how many, your hours, and I got insurance, and people get overwhelmed. All you got to do is just let them know, hey, if you need a notary, let me know. I'll take care of you. And so I'm just standing by waiting on her, So if she needs me, I'll be there. And I'm pretty sure she will. But I believe, and if she happened to see the video, what really sealed the deal was that I didn't just sit back and let her struggle when I saw that she was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
But once I helped her out and got her mind, and once she was at peace with, okay, anybody coming in, oh man, she was flowing. I mean, I was sitting there like, okay, I was taking notes. I was learning stuff. I was like, okay, this young lady knows what she's doing and everything, So that's That's what it's all about. Now, how you coming along, Cheryl? And then we're gonna go to Keisha.
I've been okay as similarly. So I've been a notary since almost like a year actually. And I started off doing loan signings, and I also realized I don't like loan signings. And I like general notary work, but specifically estate planning too. And so I've been trying to go that route. And so I've gotten clients like that, but not consistently. I want to do notary full time, but right now I do it part time. And I still do loan signings. But my goal is to do specifically estate planning. And I would want to work with law offices.
Gotcha. And that's what I'm saying, because I mean, it can be a beast to do the loan closings, the mortgages and stuff. But here's the cool part. If you understand the notary acknowledgement part, everything else flows. So a lot of people get intimidated because so many folk are out there saying, in order for you to do loan closings, you got to be able to explain the documents. You don't. You just have to make sure you know what you're doing for your area. Because when you do estate planning, you can see all kinds of documents, and we never explain those. We don't get into trying to break those down and making sure they understand. We verify ID. Okay, yep, you are who you say you are. They sign, we sign, stamp, and keep it moving. So that's why I don't understand why people say that it's different for loan closings. Why is it different for loan closing? Why, as a loan closer, you're now taking on the responsibility of trying to educate or guide or show these people something that really they should know? Because if they don't know what they're signing and why they're signing before I get there, after working on the documents for 4 months with the loan officer and them, to me, that's a problem. Because as a homeowner, I'm buying a house, and you mean to tell me that from January through, let's just say, May, I just signed some papers, gave them bank statements, and I knew really nothing what was going on, and I'm supposed to just pop up and, okay, sign, but then nobody wants the signing to be no more than an hour. So I'm like, okay, if you don't want it to be any more than an hour, then empower me by making sure the people are educated on what they're signing before I get there. And you want scan backs, and you want me to drop. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things so there's things that they need to do on their end to help me out, to empower me to be able to be more efficient with regards to them and all of that. So I'm trying to. So what you got going on, Miss Keisha?
So yeah, I'm a brand new notary. I haven't signed anything. So I just appreciate this teaching moment for me. What was the other question?
I thought you talked on the phone before?
We've been on Clubhouse a few times together.
Okay. I know you've been on Clubhouse and stuff. Yeah, that was a good Clubhouse this morning.
It was a I've been on Clubhouse since 4:00 this morning.
Woo.
Well, the Sheikah, she puts on such a good class that I just, with me learning, this is part of me learning my job is to show up for these clubhouses and take in like you and Amy and just everybody that shows up and is willing to give the information out to us. I appreciate it because it's been a big help. But I'm planning on focusing more in the beginning on general notary work. I just think that would be more up my alley. I'm in the process of studying Notary to Pro.
Okay.
I'm taking that online. So once I get that done, and I'll plan on taking the NNA class and getting certified in loan processing. But I'm not sure how much I'll be doing besides what's contacted through the general notary work. But I'm excited. Thank you for your help.
No problem at all. Yeah, and that's the whole crux of what I'm saying, because as I've been listening to various different real estate gurus out there, they're all saying that, hey, when this market drops and they need, because with all three of y'all working with attorneys, they're going to need y'all, because they may have a client that needs documents notarized for something, with regards to the mortgages. They may know or expand into doing real estate closings, or they may hire an attorney that specifically does that. So you're working in the real estate, working with an attorney already for the estate planning can open up doors of opportunity for you. Or you may have a person that's in there, let's say a paralegal or some office person that moves from working in with the estate planning and goes into the real estate part. Or an attorney may expand over there, or whatever the case may be, or come into estate planning and they got connections. So that's where you having the knowledge of what you're supposed to be doing as a notary comes into play. And as Matt Miller said today in the clubhouse, is instilling trust and reducing risk, because you don't want to be a liability. And many notaries have stopped getting notifications and they're like, well, no one told me I did anything wrong. You're grown. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to leave you alone and move on to the next person because they think you are a risk. You are a risk. You can cause my business to suffer. And that's very, very important and everything. So any other questions I can, if any, I know you ladies got to hop off and everything, but any other questions, any concerns, any ideas that y'all got going on, feel free to ask.
I'm looking for, I guess, different marketing ideas for the estate planning. Like I've been reaching out to attorneys. I've been calling, but I haven't been asking for the attorney. I've been asking more so of the person that would outsource the notary tasks that wouldn't take place inside.
Right.
And I haven't really gotten much luck. I got luck yesterday. It was a attorney that's moving to Georgia, and she was trying to figure out how she was gonna do her signings in Texas, and I happened to call at the right time. But
Excellent.
I've done so many calls, and that was the first one. It was very encouraging yesterday. But before then, I was just like, how am I gonna do? So you said look for different seminars that would need us. But is there anything else that I'm kind of missing?
Primarily just making sure you understand the estate planning process, the different types of documents that are involved, so that when you're talking with them, you can talk confidently or be prepared if they ask you, something about a trust, something, what's the proper way of doing a trust, the signature line. Because with the signature line on a trust document is the trustee verbiage, depending on the customer, some want the trustee verbiage after the signature and some don't. And I don't know what the ground rules are on that. And maybe you could research that so you can find out for yourself. But I've been in a situation where it's like, okay, John Jones, trustee. Then there's John Jones, don't put trustee, or John Jones, trustee of the irrevocable trust, or the irrevocable John Jones trust, dated January 4th, 1988. I mean, you can have all of that written out. When and why do you? I have no idea. I never had time to look into it. But understanding those things, understanding what those documents are all about, not from a standpoint of you trying to explain it, but more so if you get questioned, because they want to know, do you have any knowledge? And it's like, well, do you understand what we're doing here? Yeah, because then you know what you should and shouldn't say. And I do read the documents and studying them myself, the loan documents, from the standpoint of making sure I understand that I'm not overstepping my bounds and misinterpreting something, so you understanding the documents, looking for some small firms, mom and pop, a single attorney that's trying to do stuff on their own. They may have a paralegal or a person that's a notary in the office. And then you can say, and one of the ways I approach them is, I'm not here to take any business from you. I'm here to enhance what you have. I'm a mobile notary. And just in case you may have somebody that is in the hospital. So you got to point out the issues, the problem, and show, as I was talking about, people only pay you for the problems you solve. There are problems that exist that people don't even realize that are there. So this attorney may have never had to go to the hospital, or may have done it 1 or 2 times, but it's been so long ago they done forgot how painful it was for them to take time out and do that, or to get their assistant to go. You can say, well, I can do that for you.
Okay.
Even if they didn't, even from the standpoint, I can be a courier for you with limitations. I mean, you don't want to be there every day courier, but you can say like, hey, do you need me to assist if, your main person who's notarizing something is going out of town and you need something notarized, I can be available for you. Saying terms like that, I can be available to you. You're not saying that you're trying to be their main person, although you may want to. But again, people get very, very protective over how they got things. They get protected because that assistant might be the attorney's wife or husband, or there might be their daughter-in-law, son-in-law that they're helping and throwing some coins their way to help them out in their family. And then here you come like, hey, I'm about ready to take over. Yeah, I know you got her, but I got you. You don't need her no more. You don't want to go in like that. And there are notaries who do that. And then when you come along, people wondering, are you coming the same way?
Mm-hmm.
So I always approach it as, I'm here to assist and enhance your business, to go to areas that you're unable to get to, or at times that you're not able to get there. And then in your profile or whatever written material that you're putting out there, say those same things, that, Paulencia is here, or use your notary business name to assist attorneys with their existing and future clients, for as being able to go to their house, go to the hospital, take documents to locations or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you're doing this full time, it doesn't hurt to get paid $45, $50 to go take the documents from this attorney to another attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Because people pay for convenience. So when you can show them that you are there to make their life and their business more convenient, like somebody put in here, AARP, if you find seminars for the elderly, reach out to you can talk to the nursing homes and ask them, do y'all have any wealth management seminars?
Okay.
That's going on. Let's say you decide to have another thing that just popped in my head. So let's just say there's some type of seminar going on and they don't have a wealth management person in there or an estate planning person, but they have some event that's going on for seniors, and you're like, okay, well, I'll show up. If you happen to know of an attorney, you can mention that to them. And you can say, hey, Barbara, I marketed I reached out to you about doing estate planning stuff. I was invited, or I'm going over to this nursing home, and they're going to be talking about retirement plans, so not necessarily wealth management, but retirement. So let's say they're talking about retirement, and planning for the future. Do you want me to take some of your cards with me so that I can give to them, if they're not specifically talking about wealth management, which is retirement, but there's some people who specifically talk about like 401ks and all of that. So if you see that and it's like, now you're letting that person know, okay, you really looking out for me while you're trying to grow your business. And they might say, yeah, can you? Yeah, okay, I'll be glad to take a few of your cards just in case. And then you ask them, and take notes, are there anything, keywords that you need me to listen for that would indicate, or that I shouldn't look to see that if they don't say, that should indicate that it would probably be good for me to share your business, so we're not stepping over on somebody else's. When you talk to them like that, it's like, okay, you for real. So you got your stuff going. You understand that I don't want to infringe on another person's what they're doing, but at the same time, if they're not covering certain bases, my business can cover them, and you're willing to help me out for free. That gives them a sense of comfortability and trust with you. That's how I market myself and do things, i.e., what I did with the lady at the wealth management. Went in there, helped her out, boom, which built trust between me and her instantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of stuff that you can do. And you do have to look for other minority businesses, minority women businesses that may be attorneys, see what they need, all of that kind of stuff.
Okay. That works. Thank you so much for the information.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Cheryl? You look like you got a big question on your mind.
I have so many questions. I actually wasn't gonna ask a question. I don't know. I think I know what to do. It's just more so execution and being consistent, because I also want more clients, and so I would want direct clients. But also with my Google business page, I've seen like a lot of people actually view it, but I don't get any calls, and I'm like, why aren't they actually calling or to even ask about prices or anything like that? But I don't know. I guess marketing is my biggest thing, and actually securing clients directly and through law offices.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to prices, well, with my Google, I mean, you can only put but so much up there. You have to find a way to entice them to contact you. Now, as a web developer, that's my background. I tend to look at, okay, let me push them to this area on my website or somewhere where they can get the information about the prices.
Okay.
Because at the same time, you don't want people constantly calling you. You get 15 people looking at your thing, and then 8 of them are calling you, asking you the same question. What's your prices? What's your prices? So
I actually had the prices up. So I had the prices up, and then I actually took them down. But in both situations, I wouldn't get any calls.
Okay, then the question would be, do those people need your service at that time? They may or may not. Okay, yeah. They may or may not. They may not understand, and this is where I tell people with websites. And my man Q, that's in here. This gentleman here, I am Q. He's also on Instagram under Captivated Notary. He's very good at marketing. One of the things that you can do, and what I've always suggested people do on your actual website, or if you can, and I forget the time period that you have on Google, you throw video up there explaining what a power of attorney is. Not that you're going to do the power of attorney for us creating it, but simple stuff like, with a power of attorney for the state of such and such, you need to have 2 witnesses. The 2 witnesses, ... So you're educating them and building trust and confidence that they know you know what you're doing.
Okay.
And that takes time. Thanks, Q. And there you. So it takes time, but giving people answers. Let's say you have a connection with an attorney, and that can do estate planning for them, or will, or power of attorney, or they do family stuff, family court stuff, which may need to get notarized. Well, you can let them know to say, hey, yeah, I have a trusted partner in, Blankenship law firm that can help you out with any of your child care stuff. And then hopefully Blankenship will, in return, get you to do the notarizations, because you're funneling work their way. And then they come back and say, okay, boom, we'll have, Cheryl in here as the notary for us. So you got to have a way of letting people know, okay, yes, I'm a notary, but okay, what does that mean? What can you do for me? Okay, well, here's one of the things that I can notarize your will, your power of attorney, this, that, the other. If you have a will, you need to have witnesses, and the witnesses can't be a party of the, of the will that they're signing. They can't be a beneficiary of it. The power of attorney is this. Some states where they have advanced directives, the advanced directive may not necessarily need to be notarized. However, in Virginia, if they want it notarized, it can be. So if you can just educate people about that, that gives them the confidence that you know what you're doing, and that may garner the questions. And then, of course, we may already be doing this. You say, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You could also say, here's my email. If you can, put a web form up there and say submit your form, your questions, so that they can respond. The web form can be a little iffy because if you don't put the little security capture thing up there that says, are you a real person, you can get all kinds of creepy stuff and all of that. So you may not want to jump out there doing that, or use a Google Voice number just for that, and say, hey, hit me up this way and all of that. Text me over here. And then that way you have a better opportunity to filter out the crud that may come.
I was also wondering, while I was speaking to a friend about it, if I should market specifically to, for instance, estate planning. I am open to general notary work, but for instance, that's the route that I want to take. And I was thinking I should only be marketing to those people, to law offices, and to people that are trying to build trust and power of attorneys and things like that. But for now, I guess I'm marketing more generally.
Okay. I'm trying to find something.
But I guess I wouldn't want to necessarily only do estate planning, because I would still want other customers to come this way to come my way as well. But I would prefer to only be booked by estate planning clients.
Well, the first thing that I would do is just make sure that I'm open to getting whatever money that comes my way. So if it needs to be notarized, then I'm going to do that. That's the main thing, because I'm not real big on estate planning. I do know that if you can find an attorney that's into estate planning that you can assist, and all it starts off with is one. It starts with one. But you may have to go to some of those seminars that they have at restaurants, like they have the thing, hey, a free steak dinner and all that. And you just show up. And if it ain't gonna cost you anything, you just show up. And then, the way I would approach it is, okay, I show up and they have the estate plan. It's like, okay, great. You might have to sit there and listen to the guy or the lady, do a little consultation with you and all of that. And when they ask you, okay, what type of work do you do? Say, well, I'm a notary, and I do, mortgages, I do estate planning. You let them know the type of stuff you do. That may spark something in their brain and all of that. The marketing can be iffy because you got so many people going to them and approaching them. And I would say this for all of y'all and everybody listening: if you go into an office and you look at them and they have this little negative vibe towards you, stop your marketing and say, hey, okay, look, it appears that y'all been tainted by somebody marketing themselves to you, other notaries. Okay, can you share with me what it is that they're doing that's getting on y'all nerves? What is it that y'all really are looking for from us? How do y'all actually operate, and how would y'all like to, to work with a mobile notary, if y'all even want to work with them? And I had to do that for the loan closings. I went into one office and they just basically looking at me like, get your butt out of here. And I was like, gave them the spiel, hey, I'm here to, to help you expand your business. Like, we got 8 notaries in the back. And I was like, okay, but sometimes you may need a notary to go out for you. And it was like, and the lady just said, the reason why we really don't care for mobile notaries is because we've had so many that did things wrong. They wouldn't show up. If they did come and then they had another appointment and we was running late, they would walk out on the appointment that they had with us. You see? LaShawn, you hop up here because LaShawn is great with the marketing. Let me get LaShawn up here. LaShawn, you need to hop up here. Yes, LaShawn. Got me being somebody's god, baby, uncle, and all that stuff with this new baby that's coming. But yeah, you should, market yourself. And one of the things that I was saying in Clubhouse today was you need to understand the way that people are in your neighborhood or in your area that you're marketing to, because the race, the demographics of race, their financial status, their educational background, all can determine, all can keep can determine how to market to them. So you may have to be a little more sophisticated in your marketing, a little more indirect, a little more direct, depending on the situation. So you got to sort of get a feel for the client base that's in your area, and just letting them know that you're there, just showing up. The big thing is this: every time you walk out that house, you need to be dressed in a way that you're ready to do business.
Okay.
I know a lot of us like to be dressed down. I'm telling you, if you're going to be on a swivel, constantly looking for opportunities, and you might see somebody that you know is a lawyer. Let's just say you've seen this lawyer on TV all the time, and you're in the daggone food store getting you your $5 chicken wings for this weekend, and you see the attorney that was just on TV the other day, and you up here in cutoffs and a halter top and got your pink bra strap showing, hanging off your shoulder and all that stuff, or you the guy and you got on holy tights that you just came from the gym, and do you really want to give them a business card looking like that? And there's no amount of talking that you, okay, she said she go get dressed. There's no amount of talking that you can do to, like, that's all they're gonna see. Now they can be whatever, but you got to be straight. So that's why I look, just as you see me with my collar shirt on when I'm here, when I walk out, I'm like that. Every time I go, because I'm always looking for somebody. I see look, one of the things that I learned, and this works, and ladies, y'all can do this for each other just as I do it for men. If I see a guy and he's in a nice suit and everything, and as I'm walking by him, I let him know, I said, man, that's a nice outfit you got on. And they're like, oh man, thank you. And I said, I like those shoes too. And I'm not being dishonest. I do. I mean, I see them. I'm like, yeah, I like them shoes. And one of my favorite shoes is wingtips. I love wingtips. So if I see some wingtips, I always compliment the guys. One of my favorite hairstyles is finger waves. I see a young lady, hey man, we got some nice finger waves. My wife's a cosmetologist. I love finger waves. And I compliment people and just let them know, I'm like, you got a nice outfit on. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you. You might just strike up a conversation. You're sitting in the grocery line waiting, and it's like, yeah, and try not to be negative, even though they're slow, they done burnt your food for the third time. Try to be as positive as you can. And then you're sitting there with somebody, and here's what I do. The kids are there, and I look at the kid, what's going on, little man? How you doing? And the kid, like, show people that you're interested in them by showing them that you cool with the kid. That's what I would do. I'm like, hey, kid, how you doing? Give the little kid a fist bump and all of that. You see the little baby, make little faces at them and stuff, all of that kind of stuff. If you see somebody, they got the kid in the arm and they try, don't worry, let me grab the groceries for you. Put the groceries up on it. That kind of stuff breaks the ice and everything. And they're like, oh. And they might have a small conversation with you. And they're like, I say, it's no problem. Look, I just finished doing some notary work and I'm at the end of my day. You see how I slid that in there? I just finished doing some notary work, about to grab me some food to go home, spend time with the family. And they're like, oh, you're a notary? Yeah. And you just said it in passing and everything, all of that, and what I normally do is I'd say, yeah, I'm a notary, and I said, and then I'll pause for a little bit and I go, well, look, here's my card. If you ever come across a situation where you need a notary, just hit me up. I got you covered. And then I tell them this here. If you need me to come to your house, no problem. I'll waive the travel fee. and that resonates with them. And then I even tell them this. I even tell them this. I'll waive the travel fee for you and your family. And they're like, oh, that makes them remember you. what you want them to do is remember you. You give them a card, you got to give them something that will remember. And most people be like, oh, nah, I ain't losing no money. I want that $400 travel fee that I charge people. I get it. But sometimes it's better to make that connection. And that's what I'm saying. When again, now if you at the beach, you're out there, what's that thing? They having something in the water with Pharrell and all of that. Got it. Okay, got it. You know, may even want to have a little more professional bathing suit. You know, walking up to somebody with your business cards and the stuff. But when you're out, always be ready to do business. Always be, I mean, I'm always listening, and, you know, slight eavesdropping on folk, but I'm listening and everything. And I hear somebody talking about houses and real estate and all of this kind of stuff. I'm listening. I'm like, okay. And if I see something in the avenue, you know, child support papers, and I just tell them, say, well, you know, I'm a notary. If you ever need your papers notarized, just let me know and keep it going. Just say that, keep it going. You ain't got to explain it. And then if they want, they say, you know, what's your fees? $5 per stamp according to the state of Virginia. I normally charge and I will say it like this, I normally charge a $20 travel fee, but I can clearly see you're a cool person. So you know what? Don't worry about it. You just call me up when you need me. I got you covered. Okay, cool. And I've had people do that. They've actually called me up later, met them, got the paperwork done, left, and they still paid me the $20 travel fee. When you give people an option to be a blessing to you and you empower them, see, when you charging somebody a high fee, you take all the power away from them. With the general notary work I'm talking, because some people like to feel like, hey, you know, man, you only charge me $5. They pull out, you know, they like, you know, us old guys like me, you know, we like to pull out, had that $50 in there, you know, and we like to, here you go. Go get you something nice. You know, we like to do that kind of stuff with old guys. You know, we like, hey, here you go, girl. Here you go, girl. All right, look. Go do a little something for your kids and all that kind of stuff. Look, if all I got is this 50, you gonna be all right with that? Here you go. I mean, give a person the ability and empower them to bless you. Mm-hmm. Don't always take it away from them by saying, yeah, I'm doing a power of attorney. It's only one signature, but it's going to be $400. Let me see. Make sure this ain't nobody crazy. That's you, LaShawn. I see you. All right. And make sure. There she is. Look, y'all got the queen of everything notary up in here, LaShawn. The floor is yours. You talk to them about marketing and all of that, because you better at that than me.
Oh yeah, I kind of been in and out a little bit, but I think that was Cheryl. But how you doing, Keisha? Is it Keisha?
Hey, it's Keisha.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, she's gone now, but I know she had asked the question of, well, she kind of just want to market to only one group of people, attorneys, and that's great to, you know, be specific like that, but also keep in mind when you're really specific and you niche down like that, just keep in mind that it's going to take you time and it's going to take longer to really build those relationships and get those clients. So it is important to still, with your marketing, to still keep it open to where so you can receive other clients, but also at the same time, you can spend time focusing on different markets that you can reach out to. And a lot of times, to be honest, how you really can do it is sometimes I don't really believe in a lot of times going outside, because we here in Texas and we have 100 degree weather, and we're not about to be pacing Texas sidewalks in this 110 degree weather. Arizona's another hot place. You know, it is too hot to be doing all that. So a lot of times it really does start with your website, with, like Griff said, you know, having a video on there explaining what is a power of attorney. And to be honest, you can do an explainer video. You can pay someone on Fiverr, or they have different programs where you can create a explainer video, you know, explaining the things that you do. how a power of attorney work, car titles, bill of sales. Because a lot of times when companies are looking for a notary, they go online, and that's just the truth. They're going to go online, and that way you can get clientele from a different state and not just keep your mind so small on the attorneys in your area. Because to be honest, I could care less about some people in my particular area, because there's people that's outside of the area that will call me before and a local attorney actually calls. So that's just some tips for you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Paulincia, she's in Texas with you. You said you're in Tarrant, Texas. I hope I'm saying that right.
I'm in Fort Worth. I'm in Tarrant County.
Okay.
Oh,
Tarrant.
I'm in Killeen. I'm in like near Austin, so I'm like 3 or 4 hours away from you. Probably 3.
Gotcha. So what you got going on? Because I know you still doing some wonderful things with the notary training and all of that.
Right now, I just been making videos, trying to be more consistent with the content. So right now I've been focusing on ways on notaries how they can really draw clients to them without all this, going outside and hitting the pavement and buying cars. This a whole bunch of extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, tonight I have a class on Canva. It's a free class, just showing you how to create your social media posts and your flyers and how to really use Canva. That's going to be tonight. Then I have an Apostille class coming up well, it's not me teaching it, but it's someone else that's teaching it. It's just a different service. And I do apostilles, but I'm not teaching because that's not my lane, because it's a lot to it. But that's pretty much what I have coming up, Griff.
Okay, good. So I guess you're not traveling as much now.
No, it's too hot. The traveling is fun though for training. I can say it was fun, but it did take a lot out of me last year, because I was going to different cities. I went to a different state, and when I was preparing for my training, I put a lot of work into my training and putting things together. So it wasn't like let me just copy and paste and just put something out. I really had to do a lot of work. And the days of my training, I was up to like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I had to be there at 9 or something like that. So the training was a lot. It was a little tiring. So it burned me out. I'm gonna be honest. All that training, traveling, that burned me out. I'm good online. It don't burn me out as quick.
Well,
I know I'm
why.
excited for you. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm excited for your class tonight. So I've recently been working on my website on Wix. And I have created my first video. I'm actually kind of proud of it, from Canva. It's a animated video, but it kind of goes through what a notary public is and what we can and can't do. But I did that mainly to kind of help my Google SEO kind of pick up stuff. But I've been picking up a lot from you, LaShonda, and Griff on a lot of that stuff. And I'm excited for your Canva class tonight, just to get tips on stuff I haven't thought about or anything like that. So I'm excited.
Nice. You can make a YouTube channel too.
I saved it on my YouTube channel. You know how you just save your videos so you'll have it? So it is actually on my YouTube channel. At some point, I guess I may push it through.
Because the thing is too, you can use YouTube, and a lot of businesses do it. They use YouTube to draw traffic to their website specifically. But when you do that, you just have to make sure that the content that you're creating is specific to the audience, so that way you don't have to worry about, getting a whole bunch of notaries and things of that. Like, you're only getting the clients that you want. Because a lot of people do use YouTube, because video content is what people are using now. So you can use YouTube. You put that explainer video, to draw traffic to your website to get clients. It takes time.
I was actually impressed on how easy they made it for an average person to do it. But I'm excited to learn more about it tonight.
Well, I'm excited to have you all.
That's good. Yeah, well, that's good. Well, LaShawn, I know, the teaching, that traveling, people have been trying to get me to go traveling with the stuff, with the training I'm doing. And I'm like, that's a hard one. That's a hard one because it's a lot that I have to do because I have like 15 different loan packages. So as the person actually, goes through and does the mock signing and everything, they get to keep it afterwards, which means then I got to print another set for the next class. And then I'm doing smaller classes. Like I think you was doing about what, like 15, 20 people?
Yeah, 15, 20 people. It was work. It's work. It's
Yeah.
really hard
Yeah.
work. I don't think and I admire, seeing everyone wants to get into course creation because some people look at it as another stream of income, which it can be, but you know, it depending on who you are, some people are just copying, pasting, and stealing. But for the people out there who are not copying, pasting, and just stealing people's content, who really sit down and they research the information, then they rephrase it, type the information, and put together their training materials, that's really hard work. And to go out and still have to teach and provide the value,
Mhm.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Is
It's a lot, a lot of work. Just making sure you have everything just right. I'm making sure I'm making sure people got snacks, water, making sure everything is on point. I'm there, ahead of time, not showing up when they show up. That's the worst thing as a train. You can't be showing up when they showing up and everything. There's been times where I will be there the night before, get everything laid out, and then go home. And it's a blessing that my wife has the building that she has. So I will go home, but I already got everything laid out. And then all I got to do is just show up. And even still, I will make sure I'm there at least an hour ahead of time just to be on the safe side. Because I'm only doing 5 people at a pop. And
wow.
yeah, because it can take sometimes a person who's brand new, they're nervous about doing the loan closing. It could take them some time to try to sit there and figure out the notary acknowledgments, especially they never seen it. And trying to have 20, 15, 20 people waiting for their turn, things can get very, very boring, very, very quick. It's hard to keep them entertained. And so far, I haven't had 5 people at one time, which I can handle that. I've had 4, but on average, it's been about 3. So they sit down, boom, get theirs done. They sit off to the side, think about it. Then I bring in another person and then another, and we go through, cover stuff and everything, and move them in the right direction. So yeah, that's awesome. And of course, I learned a lot. I learned some stuff from you, watching you.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, did I look tired? Because I was tired.
no, you were fine, but I understood. I remember you were doing the preparation, getting your books together, and all of that last year. So I learned from you. I learned watching you, the preparation that you put in to doing things and doing it right. And out of all the people that's trying to be trainers, you're the main one that I hear that talks about the aesthetics or the details of what you actually do. Like you get the stuff ahead of time from the printers to make sure stuff is right. And if it's not right, you got to get on them to get it right. So that level of detail just told me, and I said, okay, I got to make sure that I'm on LaShawn's level of making sure I don't have any books that I'm printing out, but I still got to make sure things are on point, and it just reinforced the importance of doing things right,
Hmm.
and everything. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing the training, but it's more so about, them just
Money,
them getting some money. It's
quick
just them
dollar.
getting some quick
Yep.
money. And I'm not opposed to you getting quick money, but what we're seeing is the results of you not training, people not getting trained right. It turns around and affects um it affects what we can get, because then the companies are upset that all of these errors.
I think it affects the mindset of people. I think, because at the end of the day, everyone has started a notary business as a way to earn extra income. But just imagine, you train with someone who is all about money and they launch a course, and after a while you starting to look at, as a notary, you're looking like, well, why I'm going outside doing these assignments? The person that trained me all they doing is launching $15-$20 classes or whatever the cost may be. You know, and then that change your mindset to where, so you know, you turn into, you know what, I'm not going to do this no more. I'm just going to hustle classes and things of that
Right.
nature. And I don't think, you know, sometimes people understand the responsibility and also the work that comes behind putting together a program, you know, because people are relying on you
Mm-hmm.
to succeed. And I do take that seriously, you know, about people spending their hard earned money and relying on me to teach them the information so that they can get to the next level in their notary business and not hustling all day or something of that nature, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Teaching is a responsibility. That's why I always use the example of children. You know, you got kids, you don't want somebody who was a school bus driver and then all of a sudden they're like, shoot, let me go be a teacher just so they can get out of riding a hot school bus with the kid and they'll be a teacher and then they're not teaching your kid anything and your kid coming back, you know, I can't say the D word because people get mad. Uneducated as a rock. I can't say what us old folk would say. The word that ends starts
As
with
a
a
rock.
D and ends with a B, but they're uneducated as a rock. You know, and they're like, and you're like, what did they teach you? Well, I mean, and you paying somebody for it? No, you know, my thing is when somebody's paying me, I got to give them everything that they need to know. I really got to give them and be on point and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, the notary success system is here. Anybody's interested, you know, let me know if you're in the area. Now somebody is asking about, so this is LaDon. I am not at a hotel, LaDon. The first thing I can say, Miss LaDon, you gotta sign up. My building is not a hotel, none of that kind of stuff. It is a separate entity. I gave you the address, so if you look up the address, you'll see what it actually is. It's an office park, and all of that. Whatever hotel you're gonna be at, yeah, you're gonna have to catch an Uber or something to the location and all of that. But you gotta go to the website and pick the date that you want, and then go from there and all of that. And I have the new dates up on the site, and it's Saturday at 5 and Sunday at either 8 a.m. or 4:30 p.m. And the average time length of the class is at least 3 hours, three and a half hours for everybody to go through and do the loan closings and all of that and stuff. So, all right, it's about time for me to bounce out of here, get ready for my 5 o'clock and everything. LaShawn got that nice little the pineapple dew going and
Well, I
everything.
got a new one coming next week. Not sure what I want to get though.
Oh, yeah, I just got my stuff all trimmed up and everything, speaking at this conference and all of that. So this is gonna be I got only 10 minutes, and y'all know it's hard for me to speak for just 10 minutes. You know, so I'm gonna do the best I can to be succinct, as they say, and stay on topic and not chase after rabbits. With talking about notary errors and things of that nature. So yeah, 10 minutes. Whoo, that's just my warm-up time. 10 minutes is just an intro for me, but I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna do the best I can. So anything else, ladies?
I just want to say thank you again for kind of walking us through each one of those documents. It really did help kind of getting some one-on-one time with you. And at some point, Griff, I am going to make a weekend trip out of it. And I don't just want one day. I'm going to pay for 2 days because I want all 8 of your loan documents that you go through. So
Oh, no problem, no problem. Now
I'm
here's
going to get
what I
up there to see
do.
you.
What I do is when people take the training, you get provided with all of the other documents, even if you don't go through them. So I have it. I get everybody provided, and I learned from LaShawn. Everybody has to sign a NDA
Hey,
because everybody has to sign an NDA because
cover your butt.
yeah, because I don't want, I put a lot of effort in because some folk will take your stuff and then be out there and just and let me show y'all real quick so y'all can see how for real I am with this. Let me make sure I go into the right.
What you about to show us, Griff?
Nothing crazy, nothing crazy, nothing crazy, but just so people, I just want people to see that. All right, so where is it? I use this one. So as you see on my documents, they all watermarked Notary Success System. So if y'all out there and somebody hands you documents, they're gonna have to do some work to scrub off Notary. And you like, what? Why is stuff missing? Because they took my okay. And look, we just being real here, okay? Because with this notary business, I have not seen. I've never seen this many people going around trying to take other people's stuff and market it as their own. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a real problem. That's why I got my name copyrighted. I already got to have a conversation with my attorney on some stuff about that. Seeing some people, I mean, and y'all got to respect other people's stuff because y'all know y'all wouldn't want anybody disrespecting what you're doing. You're working hard. So now, if you're unable or unwilling to work hard to come up with something unique and creative on your own, then leave it alone.
Just pay somebody to do it for you, you know,
or pay somebody to do it for you, but stop going around stealing people's stuff. You know, I don't know. I was going to say me and LaShawn on this thing. I ain't the one to play with that. Okay. Y'all might like me. Y'all cool with me, but keep in mind, we only know each other because of this thing. We don't know each other like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I know, don't even go there. Don't even go there. If you talk to me, because I don't want y'all to thinking that if y'all see somebody out there using my name or some variation that they are affiliated with me, you need to verify, you know, because if they don't, I'm telling y'all, don't do it.
We got your back, girl.
I learned from the best down here, Miss LaShawn, when
yeah, because I had my situation with someone, you know, allegedly copying my name and stuff. And I mean, even though they removed it, I mean, I still see them as somewhere else. I'm not really worried about them too much. But the thing is, I don't think people understand it's not even that person honestly caused a lot of problems in my business. Like, I don't know what happened, but like someone was harassing me about refunds and I was like, you're not on my list. You know, I don't know you. And I had to call the woman on the phone and let her know that, you know, that receipt that you sent me, that's not me, that's someone else who, you know, I've been going with this legal battle with. So I don't think people understand the effect. Like when you are taking someone else's stuff and information, you are messing up someone else's business for no reason, you know, because that refund has nothing to do with me. And this woman was really upset, you know, and I called her on the phone and had to talk to her. And you know, I gave her the right information on who to call, but you know, I wouldn't. Who's to say if that woman didn't want to talk to me, she could have went and filed a complaint somewhere, sued me. I don't. All kinds of things could have happened because of the names are the same. And even though you can protect and have lawyers and stuff, all of that stuff takes time, you know, to really go through. To be honest with you, because in the meantime, that person is still using your name, your products, and everything, and it does affect your business. That's why you know I had to put out a post for my audience because a lot of my audience is older. You know, they don't they're just on the computer, so they're just thinking that I'm the same person, it's the same business, and it's not. You know, and I had to put a message out there for them. You know, because I don't want nobody to feel like they got scammed by me and it wasn't me or something. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I even had to, you know, on the documents that I send people, it has the watermark in this: do not disseminate or reproduce without approval from the Notary Success System LLC. So that way, if somebody's giving you something and they like, oh, this they didn't get permission from me, you know, it's that simple, you know. And I'm talking about this because many of you are going to have an opportunity to move into the realm of teaching and educating people, and you need to know that you have to protect your hard-earned effort. Okay, you know, Lisa, you get into the estate planning, and then you start doing training on that and educating people. You don't need somebody coming up and stealing your stuff, and you may have to just be straight up vicious. Yeah, you know, look, we were dapping it up yesterday, but you getting ready to get sued and go to jail today. All right, and I'll come by the jail, and if you need me to notarize something for you for your appeal, I will notarize it. But just understand, yes, I'm the one that put you there. I mean, it's just, you know, we have to stop doing that to each other. You know, there's just no reason for it whatsoever. So, you know, I tell people, once you sign the NDA, I got my system set up. I just send the document out. They automatically can sign it. Got the fields. I use that site Hello Sign so they can digitally sign it. And once they sign it, then I send them the files. And now here's also for those of you who may be taking the training. Yes, your best bud is going to be like, "Oh, girl, you went to that training? Man, that's cool. Let me see them docs." That's what they're going. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm saying all of this so people would know that yes, I'm 55 years old, but I have all my faculties. My mind is, and I know how people operate. And they'll sit there, and matter of fact, they'll encourage you to go, and then you go get the training from me or LaShawn, and then once you come back, they'll be like, let me, can I borrow your laptop? They know you got your stuff, and then next thing you know, they sitting up there uploading your, and you like, why does it show this Google Drive that I never logged into that Google Drive? And people are like that, you know, and I know there's people who will sit there and take the training so that they can give the stuff all to their friends who they know too cheap to pay for it. Don't do that. Okay. This ain't
Or sell it to their friends
this.
for the low. I've seen people. I seen the situation where someone was selling someone's login information. They were selling their login information so that way other people could log in. But I don't think people realize, like on my end, I can actually see people IP addresses and see where you logged in at. And if the addresses don't match up, like in different states, or just one person logging in all these different places, I can just cancel their whole membership. So people doing all kinds of trifling activity is what I call it, you know.
Oh yeah, doing some really, really bad stuff. And I don't know if you, well, LaShawn, I use this here tool, Word Fence.
Mm-hmm.
This one, oh yeah, you can block everybody. You can block countries. when you pay for their thing, you can block a whole country. You can block you can block everybody. It shows you everything. So if I see your IP address and this, that, and the other, it's like, oh, okay, block. I ultimately, it's only $99 a year. Yeah, I pay that $99 to block the world. so you come at me the wrong way, trust me, I will block you and everything. So and the thing is, that's part of the reason why I have people submit the forms and stuff. It tells me the IP address where it came from. So if people start acting crazy and stuff, you know, boom. And it's unfortunate that we have to do these things, but as a business owner, you have to protect your investment and your hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And people have to prove themselves to you that they're trustworthy. And even after they prove that they're trustworthy, if LaShawn told me I need to sign an NDA, I'm going to sign it. Just like the conference I'm be speaking at tomorrow. There was NDAs and some agreements that I had to sign. Read through them, signed them. If that's what they want, that's what they want. And I'm going to give it to them. And then I'm going to go in there and abide by that. Because what, as notaries, we're supposed to do what? Follow rules and instruction. And that's the number one way you can find out if somebody is a little iffy, when they start talking about how they don't follow rules and instruction, how they don't print single-sided, how they don't print on letter and legal, how they email, and they're like, but we doing the closing for the same company, and their instructions told me to do ... and you ain't doing none of it. And I remember a kid when I was in the Navy, I said, man, how you get away? He said, man, you just got to know how to do it. He said, I can teach you how to get away with stuff. I was like, It's my last conversation with you. So y'all be safe out there. I'm gonna knock out this thing. I already prepped my documents and all of that good stuff. And y'all have fun. Hit up LaShawn, hit up Q, hit up Matherin, and everything. And y'all be good to go. And I keep coughing so much because I be running my mouth and don't be drinking enough water. So I ain't sick, y'all. I know people sitting there griff all disease and trying to do face-to-face training. I am not diseased. I just keep running my mouth, throat get dry, and I don't drink enough water when I'm talking.
Well, good luck with tomorrow at the conference. Well,
Yes.
you don't speak in one day?
Yeah, just one day. Yeah, I'm still trying to make sure I stay 10 minutes. Boy, that's a hard
Make sure
one.
you take pictures and post them so we can see. Because you do tend to forget that.
Oh, you saw how I was looking. You saw how I was looking. I was like, oh, I gotta take pictures too.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I hear you. I got you. I will take pictures. All right, now y'all have a good one, party people.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Well, party people, we had a great live today. Y'all have a good one. Ain't nothing else I have to add to that. We had a good one today. All right, y'all take it easy. Peace.